Let's move on to the other game. It was exciting at times. The Commanders were kind of hanging in there after a bad start and everything like that. You think this could turn into something, but you know what? The big picture, too big, too fast, good coaching. All we say about Nick Sirianni, just think about that. He takes more beatings as a head coach than anybody in the NFL. And he's in the Super Bowl 2 out of the last 3 years.
Yeah, not bad.
Man, oh, man. And Vic Fangio's done a great job. Kellen Moore called a good game. But I'll give me a quick answer. Ready? What's the weak part of the Philadelphia Eagles football team?
I don't even know if you really can identify a specific place and say that that's the weakness of their team.
No. And let me start it with this. Watching the game, I really clued in on one thing because I saw the numbers and whatever. Jalen Hurts.
Right.
Okay. And so I'm going to overstate it, but I would say he basically played a perfect game for him.
Yeah.
Right decision. He did not miss a throw.
Nope.
Ran when he had to. Threw the ball with accuracy, power. Nobody had to make diving catches. Probably the one play I'd go, what made you do that? I think it was 4th and 5. A.J. Brown was one-on-one with Marshawn Lattimore to the left, and he beats him. But I could tell Jalen Hurts made his mind up. He's like, well, Marshawn Lattimore hadn't covered A.J. Brown yet, so why wouldn't I throw it? But he makes the perfect throw, and it just kind of went from there. But really a really good game by him. A.J. Brown in it. Of course, Saquon. How about this other two? When healthy, when all the linemen were in there, which they weren't against Washington, Matt. How about this is maybe one of the best offensive lines that we've seen in my time following NFL that I've ever seen. And to me, it's ranking right up there with that great Dallas Cowboys offensive line. Your brother said this, so I stole it from him. Oh, he's taking a lot of things from me too, so don't worry about it. But the offensive line of the Eagles, when healthy, you look across, there's not a weak link in that thing or even close to that. And of course, when you have a great offensive line like that, man, it permeates through your whole football team. Mm-hmm. Keeping the ball, not turning it over. It just goes on and on. Being physical, wearing the other team down. Coach is over there going, well, whatever I call is going to work. So I'm a genius. Kellen Moore just might, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
And players at every position. And, the only thing negative I can say about them, they don't do a lot on the offensive side. They just beat you with their talent.
Right.
What do you think about that?
No, I think you're spot on. I think that just big picture, the Philadelphia Eagles, their talent is clearly it's glaring when you turn on the television, start watching them play. But I totally agree. I think Sirianni, the way that he's managed the game, I think Kellen Moore called one of his best games of his career as a Philadelphia Eagle, was very prepared. At times, I thought they did get a little confused or overrun with some of the pressure looks that Washington had early on that football game, but they did a good enough job managing it. And that's where I think the strength of Jalen Hurts too is if it's not there, he's not going to try to force the issue. I think he truly understands how to manage the football game, be a game manager, and just take or just lose the battle for that once, not to lose the war in the big picture. So I think that was awesome as far as just how he plays, and something that all quarterbacks really should take a look at. I thought he played phenomenal. Tom Brady said it in the broadcast too. He just said, I want to see Jalen play a little bit more in rhythm, hit the back step, hitch, turn and throw, and get the football out of his hands. And I think Kellen Moore really had a good pulse of what they were expecting to see coverage-wise, and really got some big plays to A.J. Brown, of course, early. And when you set off the game with a 60-yard run by your running back, first of all, with the return itself, getting the ball at the 40-yard line, but then your first play is an explosive run by your star running back there, getting him on the edge, untouched, into the second level there. And then he does this little pirouette and runs to the touchdown. everything that Washington did great, it all just went out the damn door as soon as that play happened because of just how monumental and momentum shifting that play was. So kudos to the Eagles. They were clearly the better football team. Washington, you're right. They were hanging in there, but the De'Ami Brown fumble was absolutely huge. Zach Bond, Cooper DeJean, Blankenship, all over that football play. But then McNichols fumble. Excuse me, I couldn't spit that one. But his fumble there right before half on the kickoff, that really was, I think, just the last and final gasp of air that the Washington Commanders had before they took over the game completely.
I will just say this. You made we talked about it a lot, but I want to just finish it up with this. With Jalen Hurts, he understands, and he should, and it's not even hard. He knows how good they are. Mm-hmm. So he knows, first and foremost, don't put us in situations where eliminate how good we are.
Right.
That's why he plays safe. I understand that, and that's the way it should have been all year for him. Really. But, sometimes he got too careful, and then there was other times he might have been a little reckless, but very seldom in his career has he ever been super reckless, because that's not who he is. His dad's a coach, and he understands if I don't make a mistake, we're good enough to probably win the game.
Yeah, no doubt.
And, of course, he's athletically got the talent to run, to break tackles. The QB draw is always a big weapon for him every week. And they run it a couple different ways, and that, to me, that's awesome. Yeah. But I think to go back to this, his throwing, that might be as clean as I've seen him throw the ball in a long time. It was pretty. His motion looked good. He looked relaxed throwing. He was spinning it, and he was putting it on target. So all I can say is Kansas City better be ready too. This is going to be some clash. Philadelphia, probably the best roster in the NFL. And, Kansas City, I don't know if I'd put them in that maybe fifth. I don't know. Just get, their roster's good, but I don't look at it and think of them ahead of Baltimore and Philadelphia and a few other teams, but whatever. So it should be a great Super Bowl. We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, for sure. And A.J. Brown, his impact is just it's hard to quantify. I mean, first of all, Jalen doing his thing, played great. You're right. I think that he threw the football as well as he's ever thrown it all season long, too. And it seemed like he was throwing the ball with more confidence and conviction of what he saw and what he was doing with the ball. So that's always great, too, in a conference championship game.
Right.
A.J. Brown is awesome. Marcus Lattimore, they had to take Lattimore off him because they were like, all right, hey, they almost tried to force it because we're like, well, we traded for this guy. We got to put him on the number one receiver. And they realized, they're like, all right, let's put Sanders still out there because this is just a complete waste. And there was a few plays, too, where I thought Lattimore really got caught up in just all the other stuff and let up some really explosive plays leading to why he was taken out of the game there for a few different occasions. Dallas Goedert, another guy that doesn't get enough credit. His physicality when he catches the football, his ability to just post up Jason Witten style and just find those little soft spots and get vertical and get those catches was awesome. Devontae Smith had the big one on the sideline for 20 yards, so that was great. Saquon's the MVP of the football league to me. You can't argue that with me. That's it. He is the MVP, man. But Zach Bond, Oren Burks, I thought played awesome. He played awesome.
Big time.
His speed, and that's the thing that's so glaring. The defensive line, their speed and athleticism and size, but then Zach Bond and Oren Burks. I mean, you think you're taking a step back because, Nakobe Dean's not out there. Damn.
Nolan Smith, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's ridiculous too. So his speed
all three of them.
Off the charts, as they say.
Off the charts. I'll say this. You look at A.J. Brown, I guess, and as I know this, he was really terrific in Tennessee.
Yeah.
But, man, I don't know what it is. I mean, he looks – I don't know. If you didn't tell me, if you took the numbers off and changed the pads a little, is he a linebacker, a defensive end? Oh, he's what, a wide receiver? I mean,
yeah, right.
He looked huge, and he can run. And, I can't imagine a defensive back like he's coming down the field. Let me give him a quick chuck here before he goes, and they hit him. And go, what the hell was that? I mean, he's really special. And, he's one of those guys that, like Jamar Chase. If you featured him and you're a big passing team, he's going to put up big-time numbers. But I would say overall, I've kind of ripped him a little here and there. But overall, man, he's just another great weapon. You want to stop our run, bring him up. Please do that. Devontae Smith, like you said, A.J. Brown. Shoot, really tough to stop those guys one-on-one.
Yeah, Jordan Davis had a really good game on the defensive side of the football. Milton Williams shows up again too. Ojomo. We always talk about Jalen Carter and his impact in the game, but that the rest of the crew there seems to always just show up in big time plays. And then the secondary, which went from being a question mark a year ago. Darius Slay, of course, doing his thing, but Quinyon Mitchell, it was great to see him out there, him healthy. He was questionable going into the football game. He was great. He looked really sharp. Cooper DeJean is absolutely phenomenal. Reed Blankenship, I mean, he probably had the toughest assignment out of anybody on the defense side of the football, because in certain man situations, he had to cover Zach Ertz, who is just the guy at the YMCA basketball league that always kind of finds his way to get open, even though he's not running fast. So that was the worst matchup that they had, but he made the tackles when needed, came up with the fumble recovery. But just overall, Vic Fangio on this defense, man, doing some phenomenal things. And same thing, like you said, to the offense, pretty simple. They don't do a ton. They don't overwhelm teams with all these exotic looks. They keep it simple and straight up, and they just think, let's just play fast and let's just hit hard and let's rally to the football.
Yeah, as long as you don't give up the big play. I'm sure so much of that, and of course, that's always people say that, but the Eagles have so much talent. Yeah. If they make you run one more play, that's one more chance for them to turn it over or to make a big play.
Yeah, that's right.
They have that luxury, you know, and you're right.
And Gardner Johnson, too. I mean, he was flying around the field. So the fact that these guys can run and hit the way they do on all three levels is just why they're so imposing for every team when they play against them.
Yeah. So, well, all right. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I love talking about this. It was, two good football teams, well coached, riding high, playing really well, all that stuff. So this is going to be a fun Super Bowl coming. Hopefully next week, I got a few names of players and coaches. I'm going to hit them up, see if we can get them on and have a little fun. See what they think about the Super Bowl and their experiences in it. So might have to borrow some cash from you, Matt, to get it done, but whatever it takes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem at all.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Big picture wise, I think Jayden Daniels played extremely well.
Yeah, he did.
He really could do about as much as he really could in this football game. Made good decisions. I know he had the one interception, but just overall thought he played well. For the first time all year was, I think, a game where we did see him a little uncomfortable. And
yes.
we haven't seen that much from him, but there was moments where he seemed a little jittery with his feet at times in the backfield because of just how they were collapsed in the pocket, how they were surrounding him. It just it goes to show you too that he's an unflappable type of football player, but it goes to show you just how talented the Eagles are to be able to do that to him. Even though he's just a rookie, it was pretty glaring to see that.
I did write that in my notes, as the game, of course, doing this yesterday, that when you look at Jayden Daniels and what he did this year, it's terrific.
Yeah.
But unless the skill gets much, much better, it comes to this. You got to take a little bit off of his shoulders.
No doubt.
You can't go into every game and just go, we're going to throw it. We're going for it on fourth and just keep throwing. And it just doesn't work that way, And there's just too many good defensive players. You're going to take hits. I'm not saying it. Do you think he got worn down at the end of the year? That would be really interested to hear. Yeah. I would say yes. It's not much, but I could see a little bit of difference. At least I thought so watching him play. His arm kind of held up for the whole year. Running, it just shows you the defense. It's like he ran a few times early, and the group I was with, I said, has he slowed down a little bit?
Yeah.
Because, one, he's playing a terrific athletic team, but the wear and tear, it's a lot. And
Yeah.
hey, look, I commend him. It was great, and probably only going to get better for next year. But that would be one concern I would have as an organization. Let's don't expose him, 50, 60 plays or whatever every game. Let's help him a little more.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt that this roster, even though it's a 12-5 football team, they need more everywhere. Everywhere, defense, offense, and there's no doubt about that. And I agree with you. I think both Jayden Daniels and Josh Allen to me looked a step slow and worn out when they ran the football. We're used to them being explosive and accelerating past people, and it's either they were a step slow or the defenses that they were playing were that damn fast. And honestly, both could be true considering the game that they were playing in and the teams they were playing against. So.
I can't believe you said that, because I swear that was my thought in both of those games.
Yeah. Josh Allen took off and ran a few times, and I'm like, man, he just does not look as explosive as he has in other games this year. And I thought the same thing for Jayden too. There was a few where I even thought that he was surprised that he got caught, and he was surprised that people were as close to as him as they were in certain situations, because normally I think he makes great decisions. He throws the football away. He doesn't take losses. And there was a few guys that I think caught his heels a little bit more than he was expecting.
Yeah, you need a few games as a quarterback in the league. It's, just think of both of them. It was their 20th game of the year.
Yeah.
20.
Right.
Wow. And, as a quarterback, like everybody, you need a game or two here and there in a year where there's no stress on you. You don't have to do anything. You don't take hits. And all of a sudden your body, kind of recuperates a little better. At least that's what it kind of was for me sometimes. Man, if I could just have a game where I don't get pushed around and beat up and all that. So the following week, if it does happen, you can feel a difference in your body. And, so, yeah, good stuff, Matt. Really good. So
all right, Big Phil.
You said that because it crossed my mind. I sent the group I with, hey, Jayden Daniels, is he half a step slower? No, he's not, because everybody's rooting for Washington. Shut up. He's still good.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, a little homework for us before we leave. BetOnline is the world's most trusting betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is the ultimate game day companion for you. With the largest selection of odds from everything from football, NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC, BetOnline is your number one sports betting source for the new year. Every touchdown to three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered. The odds, stats, and more for every football game and every play with every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. Big Phil, we'll do some more breakdowns for the Super Bowl and all that coming up soon. But just look forward to this one, a rematch again with these two teams meeting. The dynasty versus the team of destiny, or well, actually, they both believe they're teams of destiny. But the year of Saquon continues, Phil. And that's one thing I know. So we'll end the show with that. Damn, yeah, shots fired right there to the old giant vet there. But the year of Saquon continues. That's Phil Simms. I'm Matt Simms. We'll be back with more breakdown leading up to the Super Bowl next week.